and queens. Today we have a couple of updates related to the Shanquella Robinson case. They're very small and minute updates, but I wanted to keep you in the loop regarding what's going on about this case. Before I jump in, I wanted to say, y'all, I have never steered you wrong, even when I've been ahead of myself, right? I've told you about the villa. I told you about this had to be bigger than what we thought initially. There had to have been other people involved that's a little bit more financially capable, a little bit more connected to other operations, because there's no way in hell the Cabo 6 should have left Mexico. Okay. With that being said, information continues to be released to confirm all of that we've talked about over here on this page. Now let's talk about Alysse Hyatt, y'all. She is no longer employed. The girl got her walking papers. Okay, everybody, welcome. For those of you who are just tuning in, or if you're new to the channel, I am Queen Shiba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television and current events. I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Good news for you on this beautiful Monday, Martin Luther King holiday. It has been verified and confirmed that Alysse Hyatt is no longer employed at a High Point Medical Center in North Carolina. Now, we do not have the specifics of when she was let go, nor should we, right? Because the company would be in a huge violation of her privacy. But she no longer has a job there. Now, in a ordinary situation, I don't think any of us would take pleasure in celebrating someone no longer being employed. Alysse, I have to say, you brought this on yourself. When you failed as a certified nursing assistant, your job is to administer life-saving techniques. You sign papers when you are onboarded as a healthcare professional. Not only did you fail Shanquella when you failed to administer aid, seek an escalated level of care, and let's just say you were scared for the sake of whatever argument, Alysse, that you're putting out there, right, to law enforcement, whatever you got to do, because I know you're probably in survival mode. And when people go into survival mode, which is normally a very intuitive human characteristic, is I'm going to save myself. So the story she's probably telling, allegedly, is probably one from the perspective of, I was intimidated. But sweetheart, you could have called help. You could have called for help. You should have called for help. And even if you can refute my argument on that, when you got back to the good old US of A, you provided nothing, allegedly, to help bring justice to Shanquella Robinson. Let me add, do y'all remember when I showed you video clips of her casually, nonchalantly moving about the cabin in North Carolina when the news team caught up with her? Let's take a look.
We take a journey trying to uncover why this Charlotte 25-year-old woman was found dead in Mexico. And that journey led us to High Point. WBTV's Brandon Hamilton has been breaking developments in this case since last month. He tracked down one of the people reportedly with her on that trip to Cabo. Brandon, did you talk with them? What did you find out?
Sources tipped me off to where one of those friends on their trip with Shanquella could be, Molly. And yes, we spoke quickly, but our goal was simply to ask what happened to Shanquella Robinson.
From Charlotte to High Point, North Carolina.
We're headed to High Point to find one of the friends of Shanquella Robinson. We received a tip on an address, so we'll see if she is willing to talk.
The goal of this trip was to ask the one question that is being asked around the country, as the death of this Charlotte 25-year-old has raised eyebrows nationwide. What we wanted to ask happened to Shanquella Robinson. WBTV photojournalist Noah Shun and I arrived in High Point around 4:30 on Monday afternoon to find one of the friends who was reportedly inside the hotel room with Shanquella in late October when this viral video was taken. A source said the reported friend would be leaving work around 5 p.m. and was also given a name which we're not repeating because no person around Shanquella has yet to be charged in the United States. We haven't talked to any of the friends. Their numbers have been either disconnected, no one's answering at their home addresses. So we just simply want to know again what happened to Shanquella. Right at 5 o'clock. A woman fitting her description walked out of a business. I then approached her, and again, we're blurring her face because no charges have been filed. This is how our conversation went.
Hi, Hi, I'm work for WBTV. We're just trying to figure out what happened to Shanquella. Any comment?
She closed her car door and then drove off without answering anything.
So I think let's talk about the reason she may have been let go. Now, all of this is alleged. So I'm going to pull in my professional background, right? Based on what we know are facts when it comes to terminating an employee. Okay. I do not know the specific reason, but an employer has probably they have a slew of reasons that they can let you go. And if you do a process of elimination, you can cross out all of the things that did not apply to Alysse, Hyatt, and it leaves you with 2: misconduct and criminal behavior. Okay? Whether you are proven guilty or not. Most employers, what is it called? I'm trying to think of it's called they have a right to let you go. I cannot remember the terminology. My brain just went. They have a right. It's called free will employment. You have a free will to walk away as an employee, and they have a free will to terminate employment with you. Free will, at will. You know what? It's called at will. At will. Okay. So I don't know, and nor can I confirm the formal reason that she was let go, but I guarantee you they had to do their due diligence of speaking with their attorney and finding some type of technical legality, okay, based on how can we let her go legally without being sued and without this becoming a case for the EEOC. So they could not do anything, y'all, initially. You just can't. You know, you as an employer, as a healthcare corporation, and you just can't come in guns a-blazing when the girl has not been charged with anything. However, I'm sure they found a loophole to let her go based on either criminal behavior and or misconduct. And the misconduct, I guarantee you, if I had to guess and make an educated assumption that the misconduct was tied in with the vow and the oath that she pledged as a certified nursing assistant. They got her through the back door. Either way, we will take it. Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention to what's going on between the United States and Mexico. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not taking Mexico at face value at all. You're doing a little bit too much talking, and not enough movement. And I know some of you seem to be partial to what appears to be the efforts on the behalf of Mexico. I still believe that it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't trust either side, but I do appreciate the U.S. not saying anything as opposed to placing their foot in their mouth when it comes back to that, right? So let me kind of lay out what I feel like is going on behind the scenes. I've said it. I will continue to say it. I believe that Mexico is shifting the responsibility to the United States. They've been doing it since day one, and what Mexico is doing is playing chess and not checkers. When it comes to pick a side, Mexico has definitely picked a side. Do not get it twisted. Mexico has picked their own side. Remember we talked about that villa? I do not want to get ahead of myself. I told you all, I said that villa since day one, there's something about that villa. And it's not just who own it. It's about the money and the millions of dollars that are tied into that. I'm about to get into that in a minute. So Mexico has to protect their own. However, the U.S. has a dual interest. What do you mean by dual interest, Queen Sheba? So Mexico has placed the U.S. On the spot and saying, it's not us, it's them. Send them back here. Send them back. We just want to talk to them. We want to get justice just like you all do. And the United States has not made a move. I'll tell you why in a minute. I shared earlier on that I believe that the U.S. has a dual interest to protect and serve their United States citizens. I think the United States understands that not only could the Cabo Six be in danger if they are extradited back to Mexico without precaution. Now, stay out of your feelings. These are just facts. These are not facts. These are just a strong, strong argument. Dual interests, right? So they have to come up with some type of precaution. But also on the other side, remember when I talked about that villa owner and I said there was a partnership? Not only was there a partnership, I stumbled up on a kingpin list issued by the United States Department of Treasury. Y'all, the dotted line runs so deep and it leads back to the United States. Are y'all ready? Let me preface this with stating all of this is alleged, okay? All of this is alleged. The information that I received behind the scenes, and when I investigated it and stumbled upon that document, 32-page list. Not only did they have the kingpins, but y'all, they had every front. A front is a drug operation that's hidden underneath a legitimate business. I'm talking about construction companies, hotels, resorts, all of that. It has been confirmed that there is a partnership. I told y'all that. I will never lead you or steer you wrong. Somebody in my comments a couple of weeks ago, she goes, I think you just blew this case wide open. I am going to do some more research. I will be back. Well, guess what? She comes back 2 weeks later and she confirms there is a partnership. Now, I was wrong on one thing about the partnership with the villa. I said there were 3 partners. There's actually 4 partners. So I missed one. Okay, because let me tell y'all what they are doing. As we are researching, they are swiping this information from the internet. They are changing legal names, legal entities to make it really hard for you to put your finger on it. You're going to have to dig real deep. When I first started researching this, I had quick access to the information. Now it's really hard because they're changing shit as we go on the fly. But what she was able to confirm is that, y'all, that villa owner not only has ties to what I believe was the cartel and a very, very robust and deep operational component in Mexico, y'all, they also have ties here in the United States of America, in California and Virginia. I'm going to leave that right there for y'all. So the U.S., thank you to my viewer that did her due diligence and her research. Y'all, the United States of America is holding this case up. I told you they had dual interests. We didn't know what it was. The cartel runs deep, allegedly.